Hi guys, what I happen to hold in my hands is one of the best strats I've ever had. And let me tell you the story behind this guitar because it's rather interesting. So a few moments after I promised myself I would never buy another guitar, that was 3 guitars ago, well done me, a few guitars were shipped to me for a demo. I was supposed to shoot a video on them and just ship them back as soon as I'm done. And this was one of those guitars. And as soon as I plugged it in, I noticed it has something that very few other strats have. And my experience with strats was that if they sound good with, those single pickups, so in position 5, 3, and 1, they normally don't sound great in those in-between positions, so position 4 and 2. Normally, when I have a great sounding neck pickup in a strut, as soon as I switch to position 4, it seems to get muddy, it lacks definition, it doesn't have this sparkle that I associate with the strat tone. And this guitar sounds amazing in all positions. So if I go to my neck pickup, I can rock all those Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan riffs. But if I switch to position 4, I have this kind of signature John Mayer feature of a strat, which is this, big dip that you get in this position 4, which means you don't have too much mids, but you still have a lot of bass and you have a lot of high end, and it's a beautiful high end. It just adds this sparkle to all your chords and your single notes. It's just a beautiful, beautiful sound. It's warm, but it has the right amount of definition. Same goes for position 2. It's great for those kind of Lynyrd Skynyrd kind of riffs and solos. So yeah, I emailed Marek Witkowski, which is a well-known Polish luthier. He made this guitar, and I said, this guitar is not coming back. I'm keeping it. It was rather expensive, but yeah, I managed to negotiate. And it stayed with me ever since, and I'm super happy with it. So when I start to dig into the specs of this guitar, I notice it's a little bit unusual. It's not something I found on any other strats I've had. The body is made of alder, so that's not unusual. And it's a little bit on the heavy side. It's not super heavy, but it's not a light guitar. I would say it's above average. But the neck is made of wild cherry. It's super flamey too. And what I learned about wild cherry is that it's a little bit softer wood compared to maple. And you might think that if a wood is softer, it's going to give you kind of a warmer tone, right? And on top of it, there's a huge, thick slab of really, really dark rosewood. And the frets are stainless steel. And it's not a spec I would ever come up with. I would never put stainless steel frets on my guitars. I just happen to associate stainless steel frets with this kind of annoying high frequency that I don't particularly like. But in combination with this really thick slab of rosewood and this softer wild cherry, it sounds amazing. And I suppose another big part of the sound are the pickups, which are also made by Witkowski. And what's special about them is that they have O.N.A 2 magnets for, the kind of the high 3 strings, and O.N.A 5 magnets for the bass strings. And as you probably know, O.N.A 2 magnets tend to give a warmer, rounder tone, and O.N.A 5 tend to be kind of tighter sounding with a lot of mid-range. And what these pickups seem to do is that they preserve this percussiveness on the bass strings. So when you're playing these, Stevie Ray Vaughan sort of riffs, you still have this percussive attack. But when you're playing, solos or, kind of Hendrix-style licks on high strings, it gives you a very singing, beautiful high end, which is not too shrill, which I absolutely love about this guitar. Body and neck have been finished with a nitro lacquer, and the color is obviously Sonic Blue, which is one of my favorites. And this particular nitro doesn't have too many plastifiers, which means that it cracks easily. So if you, for example, put it outside when it's cold and then you bring it back home when it's warm, it just tends to crack. And this particular guitar has been, just frozen and then warmed up just to speed up this cracking process, and now the lacquer looks aged, which I really like. The metal parts have been aged too, but it's a rather modern hardware, so there's Goto blocking tuners. I'm not sure what this bridge is. I'm not sure if it's Goto or Fender American Vintage, or it works very good. One thing I changed on this guitar, in fact, two things I changed. I changed the neck carve, because when it came to me, it was really thick. And normally I like thick necks, I like fat necks, especially on Les Paul. But when I play Strats, I want to be able to play, this thumb over kind of hook chords. And for this particular style of playing, the neck was a little bit too chubby. And the guy who made these guitars told me he made these necks fat on purpose because he wasn't sure whether this wild cherry will be stable or not. And it happened to be super stable, so it was safe to kind of, slim it a little bit. And the other thing I changed were the plastics. When it came to me, they were all white, and I changed them to mint green, which I think works better with Sonic Blue. Pro tip. If you're changing a pickguard on a Strat and you think that's super easy, make sure it fits perfectly the guitar you have, because that wasn't the case with this pickguard and I had to improvise, which was fun. Anyway, I think I said everything I wanted to say about this guitar, so let's plug it into an amp and see what it sounds like. Okay, that was my Sheriff 22. On channel 1 I had no pedals whatsoever other than some reverb in front of the amp, and that was my neck pickup. Let's try position 4. With this guitar is that it sounds best if you just back up the volume a little bit and then set the first tone note on 8 and the second note on 7, and then it has this right balance of all frequencies. Okay, hopefully you can hear it's a really great sounding strat. I'm having a lot of fun with it for sure. If you like this video, please hit thumbs up and subscribe. It helps the channel. And for now, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.